Laser scanning will be the right tool to use it inside the buildings, obviously. Again, they are being available now. They're not that expensive as before, and they provide very high quality level of scanning. The main added values we see, especially from a monitoring perspective, is that all of those 3D laser scanning points, you can overlay them on your BIM construction model. So a lot of added value can be benefited from the QA/QC exercise. So you can figure out the level of compliance of the final executed product versus what has been designed. You can figure out easily the tolerances of error if you're looking at beams or steel beams. And also, all of your MEP connections, a single scan of that information can be shared with multiple different reviewers. And you will have that information as a replica of your existing site conditions versus what was supposed to be planned. And this will go obviously for your as-built monitoring, and we'll discuss a little bit what's the added value on the handover. What also we see, there are certain challenges associated with that. The specific planning of the laser scanning, especially on an ongoing site condition, this is very critical. Obviously on a site condition, there's a lot of obstacles, whether scaffolding or your equipment to be installed. So that timing when that space is available for scanning in order the point cloud to be clear, this is key. And obviously the question will come, is it beneficial to scan every single corner in the building? The answer is no. Mainly we start to see this, especially here projects in the UAE. We have a lot of complicated designs, complicated geometry, and this is where the real added value is going to come out of those laser scanning points. The only reason that you scan it is that in case that information is not available in an accurate 3D form, basically you still have to scan it in order to convert it from what is, from nothing into a 3D environment. So laser scanning will be the right tool as your first step. And in that case, you have to not only just to scan, you have to incorporate the data in order to get that information out of it. In comparison to having a 3D drafter trying to overlay 2D drawings or taking measurements on site with pictures in order to replicate this into digital process. So yes, the laser scanning is an essential tool in case the detailed 3D model is not available for operation needs.
So I've done a number of things with laser scanning. So I think on a project that Wissam and I are both familiar with in Abu Dhabi, where we actually embedded into the contractor's contract that they've got to utilize laser scanning to verify the as-built. So there's two things that happened with that. Was one, we were able to compare the as-built, compare the laser scans to the 3D BIM models, and make sure that the things were within tolerance, right? So there's a certain tolerance that things have to be built at, and we were able to quickly be able to do that. But one of the unintended consequences of this was that, initially what we were finding is that a lot of the MEP installation was completely wrong compared to the approved BIM models and approved designs. And as people started to realize we were doing this scanning, the future MEP suddenly started to be right. So the actual sort of notion or the perception that things were going to be checked at the level of detail that laser scan provides you automatically started improving the quality of the things going forward. So that's one aspect of it. And then utilizing laser scans to create 3D models of assets which don't exist, which don't have 3D models existing is another one, which is what I talked about, which was the project that we did in Saudi Arabia.
I still have to go back to the QA/QC exercise. It's a great benefit to actually really understand, especially on a complex project. Most of our projects in the UAE are complicated projects. The level of accuracy that you can get from the laser scanning and compare it to a 100% accurate construction model, that level of information feeds a lot of databases. QA/QC team, the surveying team, the safety, the delivery, all of the construction team, the values and the automation from what the technology can give you from a tolerance perspective, it's really, really priceless. And this goes back to a previous topic you mentioned, what is the added value? This is where part of where added value will start to show. Better quality, less risk, and less rework on site. Even if there is a specific issue which happened, which we know construction, you have to just to mitigate with the on-site conditions. Laser scanning, you can just figure it out automatically. propose a solution, update your original 3D model, test it again with the overlay of your laser scanning, and here you go, a good solution to move to the site.
Picking up, if I may just quickly add on what Prakash said and also Wissam, I mean, laser scanner poses a huge advantage, especially, for example, in Europe, where there is a lot of retrofitting required and a lot of cultural heritage that basically there is no drawing. There is not even a 2D drawing. And actually, if you need to really move into a sustainable smart cities in Europe and so on, and you actually need to build up first a model, and with a 3D laser scanner, you just quickly can do that. So there is a huge potential there too.
You just have to buy the equipment, have a technician available with that. But in order to really see the value out of it, I mentioned the point before that it has to be aligned with the construction sequencing on site. We've seen a lot of circumstances where the laser scanning is available, but the actual space to scan, whether you want to use it for monitoring or for the QA/QC, the space is not ready. There's a scaffolding, there's a lot of site equipment on the site, so basically you will lose the chance. The biggest challenge is to find the right moment when you can scan it without any obstruction to your current construction activities, without obviously affecting the safety of the workers. This is where you can have an automatic relationship between space is now ready to be scanned, you scan it in the next 10 to 15 minutes, and then you move on to another area. And then a separate team working offsite, they will start utilizing the data. We mentioned a lot about the price of the technology is going down. Laser scanning now with very high quality rendering type of processors, they're kind of available. And obviously you will be utilizing this one on not only a single project, but a number of projects. And this is how, with the short term, you can get the cost out of it.